Hey guys, welcome back to the Simple Ground Homestead. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Simple Ground Homestead. I've pulled out my selfie stick again and we're going to try something new. I've been coming up with an idea of taking you guys out for a walk once or twice a month and just discovering the homestead and bringing you along. There's a lot of places out here that I haven't been to yet. Believe it or not, it's not just a take a look over there or take a hike over here. It's just so densely grown that you can't see everything all at once. So I've been thinking of that. I've also been thinking it might be a good way to kind of learn together, and then also to show you around, get you into my head, those types of things. I just wonder if it'll be a good thing. So we're going to try it out a little bit today, although where I'm headed with it today is maybe showing off what's around that I've done lately, because I've been doing a lot of work and not pulling out the camera. I have that habit. I have that drive to just get something done, and before I know it, I'm up to my elbows in dirt, and I don't want to go back in the house to get a camera. I know, I'm sorry, but that's the way I am. So instead, maybe I can just grab this selfie stick, grab this action camera, strap on my other camera next to me, and we can go around and do things, huh? Oh, and don't mind the rainy sky. We've been having a little bit of rain lately. We're probably going to have another 3 or 4 inches in the next week. So I've got to do what I've got to do, huh? Okay, so what we have here are some strawberries that I planted yesterday. There's a little over 20 strawberries along on this berm, and they're all planted on a hugel bed. I buried a bunch of branches and so on under here. Didn't get a video of that. That's one of my projects that I just didn't record. On top of the hill, I have 2 currants on the far side. They're black currants, and then a mystery that looks kind of like a currant. So it was a mystery plant, $2.50. So I bought it, and we're going to see what it grows. Over here we have my grass coming in. It isn't coming in very solid, but it's coming. This is going to be a really cool lawn. I don't remember if I've told you about it before, but it's a mix of a very low growing grass that doesn't need mowed or irrigated as often, and it's mixed with clover and other plants that I'm going to be mixing in there. So I'm pretty excited about that. This area is going to be herbs all the way around this stump. So I've got some mint growing here among the things that are naturally growing. Of course, I'm not going to spend a lot of time thinning those out. We'll just kind of coexist for a while. In this dead dreary area and water hole, we have what's going to be the flower garden. Audrey and I planted a bunch of flowers, and the kids, of course, planted a bunch of flowers in here, and we're hoping to see them grow. We'll see. We've been having crazy rain lately, and it's been making a mess of things. So you can only do what you can do, right? So I wanted to take you over and show you the filbert trees. Man, filming trees in this country is really hard. All these trees behind it make a poor backdrop. But this is one of our 2 filberts, hazelnuts, whatever you want to call it. Here's another one, if you can see it through the crowd here. And we're hoping to have lots of nuts soon. They were really astounding trees. They're bare roots, so it might take 5 years or so to get them all established, but whatever. All right, so in the greenhouse we have a few more plants growing than last time we took a peek. We have some happy artichokes and some yellow artichokes. I'm not exactly sure what they're choking on, but something isn't very happy with them. I'm wondering if I need to bring in something tasty for them. There's a bunch of flowers in here and a few different cabbages and a little more artichoke on the end. I'm not going to point out everything I have in here, but this has been an interesting experiment here. These two trays were planted at the same time, and, well, different things, of course. A bunch of brassicas on the right, and, you know, other tomatoes, peppers, and stuff like that on the left. And the ones on the right definitely came right up. I think the growing conditions are favorable for brassicas. So we'll see what happens, huh? The greenhouse has been a fun experiment lately, actually. You know, we've had quite a few cloudy days. We haven't had very many hot days. We did have a day that got up into the 70s outside, just low 70 degrees. I say 70s, but I mean 69, 70, right? And the sun was out, and it got 90 degrees in here before I caught it, and opened up the doors, of course, to keep it from getting too hot. We didn't want to shock or stress the plants. As I'm looking at you, artichoke back there. Anyway, but I'm not exactly sure what's stressing those. So it's been an interesting thing, and I don't know. I've been excited. We'll see how things go in there. There's been some people, some friends of mine that have been working with me lately, and they've been noticing that I've got kind of a nonchalant attitude about a lot of these things, because I just feel like there's so many things on my plate right now that I can't stress about every detail. You know, you hop on the internet and you're like, how do I grow an artichoke? We'll stick with those artichokes. How do I grow an artichoke? And they'll say this and this amount of sunlight and this temperature and so on and so forth. Well, I've got a greenhouse full. I've got property that's covered in trees. I've been planting orchards and planting lawns and general family stuff, you know, trying to be a good husband and father. And you know what? Perfection will come one little step at a time. And so I can't stress over the fact that, okay, they're yellow, I'm going to try to fix it. But in the meantime, I've just got to take it easy, right? Anyway, we'll show off what else we can show off here. This is strawberry patch number 2. We've built it around this stump. It's pretty exciting. Well, I should walk this way, actually, because on this side, we have some rhubarb coming up. Here's some rhubarb. It is emerging here, and it seems like it's full of vigor. So we're pretty excited about that. I've built myself a circle of lingonberries here. They go around this hill. This is a spot that is just what seems to me the perfect spot for lingonberries. I was trying to find a good place for these lingonberries, and I was trying to find a place where their relatives naturally grow, and still being close to the house. I hope this little hill works. Apparently they don't want to be too wet, so I try to plant them up on a hill a little bit. They want kind of acidic soil, so I planted them in a stump that used to be a cedar tree, is what my guess is. So, giving that a try. We'll pull up the other camera and look at the orchard. So, here I am walking into the orchard. It is growing really happily, I think. The pears are budding out here, and they're very happy. Here are some of the first pear blossoms. They're opening up today. They weren't here yesterday, so a lot of progress during the night. The plum has a lot of petals on it for all the rain that we've been getting. I'm really impressed. And since you last saw it, we dug a little bit of an extra spot to plant a couple of peaches. So here's peach number 1, a bunch of trees and brush that we need to clear still. Peach number 2. This is a special variety of peach. You need a special variety to grow here because, you know, first of all, we have really warm winters, and second of all, we have a very damp spring. So there's a lot of trouble with growing peaches here. Oh, hey, cool. I'm over here being really noisy, and I just missed out on a grouse of some kind or some sort of native hen. Anyway, forgot what I was saying. That's going to be fun to edit. The bees are out flying around. I've got 2 of them circling me right now. It's kind of cool. The salmonberry are coming out. They've been doing it slowly, but they're really coming out now. You probably, hopefully you can see the giant pink flowers behind me. They're awesome. Those are awesome flowers. So we also have a ton of huckleberry, native huckleberry that grow on our property too. And they are really astounding this time of year. The leaves come out so early and they're so gorgeous. I love them. If you get a little closer to the wetland where it's just a touch warmer, they're actually blooming right now. I don't know that I'll actually get out to show them to you, but they're just wonderful, wonderful. I love them. I'm excited. There's going to be a lot of them, but I also know they have just little teeny tiny berries, and those little teeny tiny berries will take forever to make anything out of. So they'll be kind of a special treat. Hopefully I'm proved wrong. Hopefully I can go out and pick some and find out that I can have loads of it, but it might just be that special treat for the special guests to pull off the shelf and put on pancakes, huh? So, the joys and wonders of this world, huh? A lot of water. All the rain kind of collects down the hills and has to go somewhere. We've been getting a lot of erosion through here. I mean, there's only so much a person can do, but I'm noticing a lot of erosion, especially on the other side. We'll see how this turns out in the editing, but if it can, this kind of goes to show how the water level is just, you know, the volume of water and the direction of water coming out of this culvert seems to be eroding away a lot of the bank. I'd like to fix that. It's going to be a little tricky to do it right. And when I say tricky, I mean, you kind of have to respect the wildlife and the nature around us, and you can't just do things willy-nilly. Then I also am aware that everybody has their own attitude about doing things, and you know, my method of protecting the environment may not be everybody else's method. And so I feel like I have to be careful that way too. It's kind of a sensitive topic. my desire is not to harm the world around me. I want to defend it and protect it. So what I'm walking through right here is actually the location of my experimental orchard, my natural orchard. All of those really inexpensive trees I've planted through here. So we're going to give it a shot. Now, it looks like wetland area, and it's not. Maybe it was at some point, but the ground here is actually quite solid and sturdy. It isn't subby. It's going to be kind of an interesting area, and I'm excited to see if it works or if the deer eat it all. We'll see what happens. The multitude of mosses and so on that grow here amaze me. So amazing to me. They can all grow next to each other. It's really amazing. We've gotten quite a flush of skunk cabbage too. They're popping up everywhere. The skunk cabbage are reminding me that I've been coming up with a few other ways to try to make ends meet out here. Of course, most of you already know that I'm not making a living on YouTube. Of course, it's nice to make a little bit, but it's definitely not a living yet. And I've been wondering about wildcrafting a lot of the natural plants that are here on the property already. Skunk cabbage. Skunk cabbage root is one of those that has some medicinal value. I don't understand those properties, so I'm not going to be trying to create herbal medicines. But other people do, and they buy bulk quantities. And that's kind of what I was thinking, is if I could harvest enough and offer it out there to those who are interested, then I can let somebody play middleman and get those things out to the people who want them, make a little bit of money that way. And there are so many people out there that are looking for well-sourced, environmentally friendly sourced products, and I feel like I can contribute to that. If I harvest things in a very sparing, kind to the world way, then people can get those natural healers, and I can know that I'm doing my part in a sense. There's a few different ones out here that I've been looking into. There's thimbleberry, like thimbleberry leaf. Now that one's not potent, so I might actually make teas out of that and sell that. There's horsetail. Of course, there's a few different varieties of horsetail, and the smaller variety, not the giant horsetail, but the field horsetail, I haven't seen as much of, but it might be a slower emerger, and we'll see what happens there. There's Devil's Club root, there's wild ginger, and then there's quite a few others that I'm slowly getting to know. They don't come right to mind. So, yeah. Here's an interesting thing to traverse. Whew. Remember what I was telling you about the erosion? Yeah, it's amazing to see what happens in this world. A lot of the new fern are coming up. I'm a little worried about this video getting too long, so I'll cut to the end here. What's your opinion? Should I start this video series? Do you guys want to go on a walk with me every once in a while? What types of things would you want to see if we were to do this? Would you want me to be a little more quiet? I've been having this idea of just saying a few humble words at the beginning and just letting the video take care of itself. Anyway, tell me what you think. I really enjoyed it. You know, judging by my feeling right now, I wouldn't mind doing this regularly. So, thanks guys. Thanks for following this journey. I hope to have more good things coming your way soon. And until next time, thanks for taking this journey with me on Simple Ground.